What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day today. Matt Crane here, and I wanted to welcome you to a new concept, the Power of Great book review. I'm really excited about it. You know, as I launched the Power of Great podcast, and now airs on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, we upload it every week. You can simply get to that podcast, bit.ly/I am Matt Crane. What I'm really excited about is we bring a lot of awesome people on the show, people from different walks of life, entrepreneurs, small business owners, individuals alike that really do bring a powerful message of recognizing when your current situation doesn't define you. No matter where you are in life, no matter what decisions you've made, no matter what bad decisions you've made, what it really boils down to is this. Is that are you willing to make decisions at the end of the day that are going to help you become better? You see, you have to start thinking that other people don't pay your light bills. Other people don't put gas in your car. Other people don't put food on your table. And having a million friends doesn't, at the end of the day, truly define who you really are. And, you know, as the Power of Great podcast really becomes something of importance for me, and allows me the opportunity to take the network that I'm creating and building and bring that to people that watch on these different social media channels, that participate on all the different live streams that we do. It's important that we take that message and then look to reciprocate it back. And so what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is my man Ebong wrote a book called The No Business Plan Business Plan, Start Me Up, The No Business Plan Business Plan. And it's a bestseller on eBay, or I'm not on eBay, on Amazon. I'll have the link for the book in the chat box. And, you know, Ebong has an amazing story. Guys, he's also been on the Power of Great podcast. If you have not already heard that podcast, I'll also put that link in the box. But you can simply go to bit.ly/I am Matt Crane, and it'll bring up all the current episodes that we've recently uploaded to iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. We have some amazing guests, but Ebong is such an amazing person. He has a great story. He has a story of perseverance. His background is that he just recently received his citizenship to the United States. He went to college. He's a certified public accountant, works for a very large firm, but yet he had a dream of playing professional basketball. And while he could have done so many different things during his summer, he worked as a janitor and saved up enough money, right, to be able to call these different places. He was his own agent. He was his own pitch person, and he was able to go overseas and play basketball. And now he's come back and he's written a bestseller that we're going to talk about tonight called The No Business Plan Business Plan, Start Me Up. And why is this important? Well, guys, I've been very fortunate in my life to have so many different opportunities, right? I've been very fortunate to create things, to do things that I never thought was possible. And now I'm doing something that's absolutely amazing. I'm an international business coach. I coach people from all different countries. I have shows on digital networks. I have an iTunes, a SoundCloud, and a Stitcher podcast. And I'm able to spend time with my family. And it's been some really cool things in this book. This was one of the first books that I read business-wise and leadership-wise and development-wise, cover to cover. And it was actually so powerful that I was reading it on an airplane, and I was finishing it up, and a lady had kind of been eavesdropping a little bit. And she said, was this guy on a television show? And he happened to be on The Real Housewives of D.C. at one point. He was dating one. At the time, he was dating one of the contestants. And she recognized him, and I said, yes, ma'am, but that's not who he really is. This book is phenomenal. And I said, do you mind if I ask what you do for a living? And she said, well, she worked as a law clerk, but she was also a network marketing company. She had just started a network marketing company. And I said, you know what? If this book is something that you really like, take it, read it. All that I would ask you to do is shoot me an email with your review. And I gave her my email address. Well, she shot it back. And what I really got out of it was how simple Ebong was able to take some very detailed practices in the small business world, and apply it in a way that people could really comprehend. So what I wanted to talk about tonight is I wanted to delve into chapter 21 of the book, We're using a channel on Facebook Live, which gives me, Matt Crane, the opportunity to create content marketing material. And chapter 21 of this book talks about content marketing and storytelling. And what I find very important is that if you are a business owner, if you sell insurance, if you're a real estate agent, if you are trying to impact your community, if you're trying to create something, social media is a realm that you're going to use. You know why? Because every person on planet Earth will eventually have the opportunity to see it. There's 1.6 billion users on Facebook. There's 500 million users on Instagram, 300 million per day. And when you have the opportunity to reach that many people, whether they're watching your stuff or not, once it sits on a social media channel, you're able to repurpose that. You're able to reuse that material. You're building digital commercials. You're building assets for your business or for your message or for your personal brand that are going to help you in the long run. So content marketing is huge. And I thought that it was important that we take this book, Start Me Up Again by my friend Ebong, the No Business Plan Business Plan. It's a bestseller on Amazon. He's also on the Power of Great podcast, episode number 2. And we talk about what is content marketing. He talks about content marketing really is something that establishes yourself as an expert in your niche market. It allows you the opportunity to educate your clients, prospects on important information that's inside their industry. Now, look, there's so many squirrel moments, right? And when you really watch people on social media, there are going to be people that get it. There are going to be people that don't. There are going to be people that are watching you to try to make fun of you. There are going to be people that are watching you because they really want something from you. But what you have to understand is that those people, they matter as a whole. And if you're consistent, if you're delivering value, if you're providing them with resources that are going to help them be better, trust me when I tell you, even those that want to be negative towards you will take your information and use it. They just may never tell you. So please don't underestimate the value propositions that content marketing will bring to your business. Right? Negative attention is still attention that you're getting. And attention for most people is the number one killer of all business. So by being able to use content marketing for your business and for your brand and for opportunities, gives you an opportunity to expand your target market. The other thing that content marketing allows you to do is points of reference. You see, the old school methods of belly-to-belly contacts, phone contacts, those handshake deals, those face-to-face organic interactions are still king. But you have to leverage network opportunities in order to create a larger footprint. And social media, live streams, and content marketing give you that opportunity. The other thing that content marketing will do for you is it's going to allow you to continue to build comfort in your target audience. Because your target audience are people who trust you, know you, and appreciate your information. They value what you bring to the marketplace. They value what you provide them in terms of resources, references, and overall skills. In my opinion, all content marketing in some form or fashion will also motivate and inspire those who feel as if they don't have a large network. So, by providing content marketing, I want you to understand right away, this is also going to be very valuable free content that you are creating, that you're sharing, and the overall goal is to attract and convert prospects and customers into repeat buyers. So a lot of times what I see with content marketing is that we see people who don't state their value proposition. And inside of that value proposition, you need to identify your goal. What's your end goal here? Well, for content creators, for those who are leveraging these platforms to create content for marketing purposes, you need to establish your goal right away. My goal is to drive you to my business message or my brand message. And I want to be able to utilize my skills in X, Y, and Z, my expertise in X, Y, and Z in order to create that. So it's very important that you understand that you're going to give away content in order to convert people into buyers. So don't be stingy, right? Don't be tight with your content. I know some people who wouldn't give away free anything. And guess what? They sit with free chairs in their businesses too. They sit with free time on their hands. So if you really want to impact the marketplace, if you really want to create an impactful message for people that you are looking to convert to prospects, it's going to take you what? Offering them the goods so they know what table to eat at. And you do that through content marketing. And I'm going to tell you, chapter 21 is amazing. And it really breaks down, okay? Really breaks down why, people really spend money in this country to solve problems. And you're going to hear the comfort buys. You're going to hear that there's so many, what I call emotional buyers out there. People buy things to make them feel good, but they're solving a problem. So when you provide content marketing to people through live streams, through social media, through graphics, through text messaging, through voicemails, all these channels are content creations, videos. You want to establish how you can personally solve a problem. You see, people are going to buy from you before they ever buy from your product. They're going to buy from you, and then they're going to continue to buy from your product because they trust you. They appreciate your consistency. But for most people and especially those that I do free consultations with, the problem they have is nobody knows them. You post all day long, you put graphics all day long, and you want to provide workshops and all these different things, but yet no one sees your face. No one knows your message. No one knows your value proposition. No one knows your power statement or that 60 to 90 second, really, this is who I am, what I do, and why you should do it with me. And that goes a long way. I'm working with a gentleman right now that is creating a massive amount of business through his company. He's a 9-to-5 employee. He's in the mobile device industry. And he's understood how to leverage the billing options. You see, all he needs to know is that you are a customer of the plan that his company provides, and that he can bill you for the items that you might be looking for. But you see, people are now moving to him because they're starting to trust his message. They're starting to trust his content because he created it and he's putting it out there in a mass way. Now, content marketing and the creation of content are for those who aren't satisfied. Hey, if you're satisfied with what you're doing, if you're satisfied with the level of reciprocating opportunities that you're receiving, if you're satisfied with your paychecks, hey, more power to you. But there's going to come a point in time when that marketplace gets a little bit more saturated, when your particular methods may not be the one that attracts people the most. Or you may get so busy that you neglect X, Y, and Z, and because you haven't created any content that gives them a place of reference to go see your face, hear your voice, and see you in a more organic way, then they're going to move on from you. You don't believe me? For any man out there that's married, how long did it take your wife to really be convinced that she loved you? How long did it take your wife to really know that, hey, this is the one I want, right? But if you really loved her and you really cared about her, you made sure she saw you all the time. So you have to think that way about your prospects. This marketplace is moving at such a fast pace. It's so saturated. There's new concepts, new companies. There's new ways of making money that are happening at lightning speeds. And those that are winning are those that are being seen first, seen often, and are consistently creating a valuable message through content that provides what? A layer to who they really are. You see, I've generated so much business in the last 30 days based on content creation, which has allowed people the opportunity to want to create offline organic conversations with me. And it's that consistency in those online calls or those phone calls that we have. And then it matches up with what they're seeing online. And what happens? It creates continuity. So now I'm no longer just looking in my backyard for business. I'm taking care of my backyard, but I'm now able to expand my business offerings throughout the world to the point now where I'm doing business in New Zealand, Australia, different countries. And how was that possible? Content creation. So whether you believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's people looking for you right now. There's 7 billion people on planet Earth. 7 billion. And half of us are still fighting over the 100,000s that might be in our particular marketplace. You're thinking too small. You're not thinking big enough. And ultimately, it's going to put you out of business. So he has this, my man, first of all, Ebong Eke, the No Business Plan, Start Me Up. We're talking about chapter 21, content marketing and storytelling. So he says this, he quotes, "If she is giving me this information for free, I can only imagine how good the paid information is." 100% agree with that. Don't believe me? Go to your church service, ladies and gentlemen, and your pastor builds up such a positive message that when that offering plate rolls around, you're putting something in it. Now, I'm not saying that's sacrilegious at all, because it's our obligation, it's our duty to tithe and give to our church. But imagine the concept. Building that content for free, you're in a place of worship and fellowship, which is exactly what content creation is doing. It's putting you in a place with like-minded individuals who believe the same thing you believe, who want to achieve the same thing you want to achieve. And what happens? Now you start having a group of people who are going to support you. You feel comfortable. It's going to bring you out of your shell. And all you have is the pastor or the evangelist or the coach or the speaker that's leading the message. And they're providing you with free content. And what happens? That free content evokes emotion. It evokes a reaction in you. And once you take action, now that coach, that pastor, that evangelist does what? They carry you with that message. So, if you don't believe me, if you're on Instagram right now, if you're providing posts on Facebook right now, if you're on Twitter right now, if you have an account on any social medium and you're only doing it to be a lookout, then you're misusing the platforms. You should be using those platforms at all times to provide a consistent message of how people can eventually do business with you. Because until you get to a point where you can retire, or until you get to a point where you don't have to worry about paying any bills because you're making so much residual income that they're paying for themselves, then here's the deal. You're always going to need to do what? Stay in front of those people who can provide you with the income necessary to survive. And content marketing is a huge way to do that, especially if you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, a network marketer, a real estate agent, an insurance agent, anyone that has the opportunity to be flexible with where they can go do business. Very, very important. Storytelling. Storytelling is huge. The storytelling is really where you're creating more authentic and organic opportunities for people to know who you are. There's great storytellers out there in the world. Drop my pen. You know, I've been gifted with the gift of gab. I can talk with the best of them. But one thing I had to realize, and it's taken me a long time to get to that point, is that you don't just need to talk just to hear yourself speak. And we all know when that happens. I mean, I could see it today. You know, 6 months ago, I would talk and I could go for 15 minutes. And boy, I thought I was the smartest person in the room. And I'd see a lot of people just doing this. Or their eyes getting here, or they're floating. Or you can see them trying to cut you off in their head because their head starts going like this quite a bit. And it was because you blew past all the content that they needed. So when you want to be a really sharp storyteller, you want to be able to engage your audience in a way where they're going to be able to take what you are giving them and then reciprocate it back to you. Case in point. How many of you right now that is watching this? I see Matt Hinkle, Nick Beauregard, Tamir Corporal, Vicky Harwell. I saw Bill Young, Patrick Nelson. I saw some other folks that came in earlier. How many of you, Lisa Halls, Jim Beach? I saw how many of you have had those moments where you saw that person on the other end doing this? Jordan Thomas, my man. If you have, just put me in the chat box or type a 1 or hit the little thumbprint. We've all been there. And it's because you quit telling a story and you really only started talking about you. See, a story is meant to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but it's also meant to be telling someone else. So if you're only talking just to talk, then you're really only talking to yourself and you're going to get nowhere. So once again, everyone, thanks for being here tonight on the new show, Power of Great Book Review. My man, Ebong Eka, the No Business Plan, Start Me Up. Ebong Eka has an amazing story. He's also a guest on the Power of Great podcast. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. You can get there by simply doing bit.ly/I am Matt Crane. It'll take you right to it. You'll see all the episodes. We've had Greg Walker, the big dreamer, who is a multi-millionaire entrepreneur. Amazing story. We've had Alex Kahn, who's in Germany, social media expert. My man Caleb Maddox, 14-year-old CEO, just signed a deal with the original shark on Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Ebong Eka, he's a nationally and internationally known speaker, trainer, personal development coach. Anthony Coughlin, Frank Salas. We've had some amazing guests on the show, and then this month, man, we're kicking off with some more awesome people. So thank you guys so very much for joining me on the Power of Great Book Review, where we talk tonight about my man Ebong Eka's The No Business Plan, Start Me Up. Chapter 21, Content Marketing. Just how important is it to your business? Guys, the last 30 days, every ounce of business I have generated in my company has came from content marketing. Every bit. It's allowed me to create a podcast. It's allowed me to be finishing up my very first book. It's given me an opportunity to be finishing up my very first online course, which we will be launching in the next 2 months. So the power of content marketing is there. So if you have a business idea, if you currently have a business, and if you've shelved those things, then let's talk. Tamir Corporal, who's in the house, she can tell you right away. She came into some of the live streams, some of the content marketing concepts that had been created by different groups, generated business right away. And now she's creating content. So it's very important that you understand that content marketing is huge. Here is a quote from the book that I think stands out to us all when it comes to content marketing. This would be your potential prospect or client or customer saying this about your content marketing. If he, she is giving me this information for free, I can only imagine how good the paid information is. How many of you have gone to something for free and walked away going, man, I would have paid anything for that information I got? How many of you have gone to a workshop online or a free webinar and went, wow, man, I just got $1 million worth of advice for free? So, I will say this, guys. Content marketing is huge. Social media is becoming the new way of doing business. It's becoming a new way of what? Of creating commerce, and it's also becoming a new way that people are starting to bridge the loss of economical foundation. So I ask you tonight, do you have content that the world needs to hear? Are you a little nervous about sharing that because you're not sure how people are going to react to it? Who cares? When they send you a check in the mail for your light bill, or they're willing to cut you a check for that grocery bill, then here's what I would tell you. Hey, thank you for your advice. I appreciate it. Thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. Other than that, I got to do what I got to do, and I need to get out and get this message to the world because it could really impact me, my family, and the legacy that we want to leave for those that are coming behind us. So everybody have a great night. Thanks for being with me on the Power of Great Book Review. We're going to do this every single week. Every single week on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have a new book each week. This week it was my man Ebong Eka, the No Business Plan, Start Me Up. I'll be able to put the link. I'm going to put the link down in the chat box for us, for you guys to be able to get over to Amazon, purchase your copy of that book. He will also personally sign the copy as well. Okay? He prides himself on that. And I will tell you, there's not one person that really understands engagement in a way like my man Ebong Eka. So, I really appreciate you guys being with me tonight. Everyone have a great night. Remember this, the power of great is built on the definition of what? That your current situation is not your defining moment. There's great things waiting on all of us, and we're all going to achieve great things in our own way. But let's not be selfish about it. Let's just do it together. Everybody have a great night. I'll see you soon.